Good morning, third graders. I woke up this morning and thought I should read a chapter of The Secret Zoo. So I'm just about to go for a run, but before I do, I'm going to read chapter 10, Midnight Mail. The letters are really silly. You can see. So Midnight Mail. Noah sat on the edge of his bed in his dark room and stared at the clock, 11:53. On their walk home from the incident at Creepy Critters earlier that day, the scouts had decided that Noah should check his mailbox as instructed and then report to Ella and Richie first thing in the morning. Now Noah's parents were asleep, and he was ready to move. 11:54. Noah expected to find something in the mailbox, but he didn't know what. Though he hadn't figured out much, he was certain about one thing. Anything was possible. 11:55. It was time. He sneaked downstairs, put on a jacket, and slipped out into the cold, dark night. The sky was starless. As he headed for the mailbox, he threw his hood up and stuffed his hands into his pockets. "It's cold," he mumbled. His breath rose like steam in front of him. As he walked down the driveway, he checked his watch. It was 11:56. He opened the mailbox, but saw nothing inside except for a dry leaf. "Maybe I'm early." He glanced at his watch. 11:57 turned to 11:58. He rocked back and forth to stay warm. The neighborhood was so quiet that he could hear the wind rustling the few dry leaves that still hung on the trees. 11:58. Noah waited and waited. 11:58 morphed into 11:59, then 12 o'clock. Midnight. Nothing happened. The time on his watch changed to 12:01, 12:02, 12:03. "Maybe my watch is fast," he mumbled. "Maybe." He heard a low sound and peered down the street. He could see nothing but darkness. "I'm hearing things," he told himself. He heard the sound again and fell silent. This time he was certain that it was something. But what? He didn't know. It was soft, like feet tapping the pavement in the distance. "Hello," he said. A form began to take shape in the distance. Something was running toward him. Noah took a step back and bumped into the mailbox. The clank of the metal box made him yelp. "Don't panic," he told himself. "You were expecting something like this." But he wasn't sure what he expected. He had no idea what was out there. Tank had seemed to be on his side when he spoke to the scouts outside the zoo gates. But how did he know Tank wouldn't double-cross him? Maybe Tank was Charlie Red's best friend. Maybe the two zoo workers wanted to get rid of Noah and keep the Megan situation a secret. So, remember that when we were reading the other day, we learned that all the zookeepers know about the scouts, and they all know about, Megan. The tapping grew louder, and Noah started to make out the form down the road. Whatever the creature was, it was running on 4 legs. Noah didn't know what to do. He'd never been so confused in his life. So the creature was running on 4 legs. Take a guess at what kind of animal you think it is, or maybe it's not an animal, at what kind of creature it is. "It must be a dog," he said hopefully, but he knew better. The thing running toward him was no dog. It was something that escaped from the zoo. It was something that was following Tank's orders to meet Noah at this hour, at this specific spot. It was something that could be friend or enemy, just like Tank. Noah's stomach leaped up to his chest. Maybe this was how they'd kidnapped his sister. Maybe they'd tricked her. "Run, Noah," he told himself. "Run back to the house now." But he couldn't run. And he wouldn't hide, not with so many unanswered questions. Not with Megan still missing. He felt sick. He felt betrayed. At that moment, in the cold and darkness, he closed his eyes and allowed the unknown animal to bear down on him. Bear down on him. What do you think that means? At that moment, in the cold and darkness, he closed his eyes and allowed the unknown animal to bear down on him. I'm picturing the animal coming on top of him. So he's laying there. I'm picturing a dog still in my head, but we know it's an animal from the zoo. So the next chapter is chapter 11 at Ella's house. Have a great day.